Welcome back to this amazing YouTube channel. Thank you so much for the love and the support you've shown me so far. If you're new here, we are all about mental wellness and keeping our emotions in check. And thank you so much for the subscriptions, the likes, and the comments. I am so glad and delighted to be doing this. So thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to Marianne's Space. So today, I want to talk to someone who is in an abusive or an unhealthy relationship. And I want to talk about why people do not leave a toxic or an abusive relationship immediately, or they take some time to leave, or maybe some never leave anyway, they stay. So today, I want to talk about something we call trauma bonding. Something that so many people confuse with love, which is not. You will most often hear someone say that, I don't know why I'm still in this relationship. Just there's something about this relationship. We've been with this person for so long, and that is why I'm unable to leave. And today I want to explain what happens in an abusive relationship, toxic relationship, and unhealthy relationships that hinders people from leaving those relationships. Trauma bonding is basically a connection between an abusive person and the person that they are abusing in the relationship. And this usually happens when this person that is being abused develops affection or sympathy for their abuser. Abuse is so normalized that we can't even tell what abuse is anymore. And in a relationship, cheating, insulting, demeaning, giving you the silent treatment, emotional abuse and physical abuse, that is all abuse. And sometimes we tend to overlook all the others and think that physical abuse is only what we can consider as abuse. So why don't people leave these relationships? This is what usually happens when one person is doing all these things that I've termed as abuse to a person, and they are not leaving the relationships, or they have taken so long, or they do not see any problem with what is happening, and they choose to stay. It usually involves a lot of exploitation of this person that is being abused. This is what happens in the cycle of abuse, and I will use an example of physical abuse. This is the cycle of abuse. It has 4 stages. The first stage is the tension building stage, whereby you feel like there's something that is not well with this relationship at the moment. You are walking on eggshells. You do not want to say some things that will upset the abusive partner. You are so careful. You don't want to do something that will upset them. So there's a lot of tension in the relationship, and this is what we call the tension building stage, whereby the abuser does some things to set you off, or to make you do something that will allow them abuse you, and then later use it against you to blame you and say that you did this, that is why I did this. This is the first stage, the tension building stage. The next stage is the actual abuse phase. This is where the person becomes so mean to you, they become violent, they physically abuse you, they verbally abuse you, they do all sorts of things to you without shame. They do it without caring, with no empathy. This is a soul-shattering stage, and it crashes and, goes away with the dignity of the abused person. You're down mentally, you're hurt emotionally, and sometimes physically. And just like magic, this stage disappears and the abusive person jumps right into the other stage, the reconciliation stage, whereby they apologize, they are down on their knees, they get you flowers, they get you everything that you've ever wanted, something that you've been asking for years or for months, and now they are able to do it because they want you to forget that abusive stage. And you have to understand that these people do this because there's nothing wrong with you, but everything wrong with themselves. So in this stage, everything is erased because of these small bribes. You're taken to Dubai, you bought a house and a car, you brought flowers, he takes you to his parents, he proposes to you. These are the things that they use, to bribe you and to forget about the abuse. And because you are so hopeful, because, in abusive relationships, what makes people stay most is the hope. An abusive person is very good at future faking and giving you promises, and that is why you hold on to this hope that things will be better. And in the beginning of the relationship, these people are always very good people. They love bomb you, they give you so many things that you've always yearned for. They call you all the sweet names, they take you to all the places you've ever wanted, to new places, to exciting places. And that is why when they start being abusive, you fail to recognize that it is a red flag and you should drop it. You should drop the relationship, and you hold on to the hope that this person will get back to the person that they were when we first met. Or you are hooked to this person because you have hope of the things that they usually tell you. They future fake so much. They tell you, we are going to have a wedding next year. I'm going to take you to my parents next month. I'm going to change. I'm going to see a therapist because of my anger issues. And they end up not doing it, and you end up with nothing but a broken heart and wasted years. This is the reconciliation stage. They do everything they can in this world for you to stay, because I told you, if something was wrong with you, that person, if that person was a healthy person, they would leave you. They would try seeking therapy for the both of you. But because there's something wrong with them, and I will talk about in another video why abusive people abuse. It has everything to do with them and has nothing to do with you. Your only problem is staying. Your only issue is staying in that relationship. And so, after this reconciliation stage, we jump into the fourth stage, the normal stage, where the relationship is normal, everything is going well, the communication is good, all is well now. You people are doing your projects well, everything is well. You're taking care of the family, and just the way a normal relationship is, or a normal marriage is. And within what feels like a second, we are back to tension building stage. Yes, we go back there. Because if this person did not purpose to change, they'll keep on doing the same thing over and over again, year after year, month after month, and the cycle goes on. And you keep on staying because you've held on to the hope that maybe one day this person will deliver what they promised. But they don't. In most cases, they don't. Research has shown that getting out of an abusive relationship or leaving someone who you are trauma bonded to is similar to getting off heroin. Yes, battling a heroin addiction. It is as serious as that. And so this is what happens. This is why it feels like an addiction. During the stressful moments, there's a chemical that is produced in our bodies. When we are stressed, this chemical is known as cortisol. And then in the reconciliation stage, where we are all happy, good things are happening, there's a chemical that is produced in our bodies called dopamine. And this reaction in our body makes it become an addiction. The relationship becomes an addiction, and that is why it is so hard for someone to leave an abusive relationship. It is so hard, where we have this push and pull, the highs and the lows, the production of cortisol and dopamine. This is what makes it look like an addiction. Even when you tell yourself that I'm leaving this person, I am gone and gone for good, or you'll go for 1 or 2 days without this person, and your body start feeling like it is going through some withdrawal symptoms. It is lacking something. And this is where you find yourself going right back to this abusive person. And at this point, when you've decided that you're gone and you're gone for good, they're also doing their love bombing. They are trying to get you back. So it confuses you. And that is why it feels like an addiction. I know if you've been there, if you're there, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And it is a very dangerous place to be. Because you neglect yourself. You just go for this high. You want to experience this high over and over again. And you want to overlook the lows of the relationship just to feel this high. It is an addiction. Being trauma bonded to someone is an addiction. And it is not what love is. It is not. Love is beautiful. Love is good. It doesn't need you to neglect yourself. It doesn't need you to feel like you're getting off heroin. It doesn't. I want to briefly highlight signs that shows you might be in a trauma bonded relationship. And so that you can start working on leaving, because we said that for our mental health to be in check, you cannot allow yourself to be in a toxic relationship. You cannot allow yourself to be in toxic situations or be surrounded by toxic people. You must get rid of all of them. So the first sign, you constantly find yourself walking on eggshells. There are topics that you avoid talking about with your partner. There are things you cannot do when they are around, because some might set them off, and you do not want to, ruin the happy moments that you have with your partner. There are things you cannot talk about because you want to maintain peace. You do not want to talk about things that are pressing you in the relationship. You are constantly walking on eggshells in a relationship. That is not normal, and that is not healthy. You might and are probably trauma bonded to this person. The second thing, friends and family can see something and they are telling you that this is not normal, but you are still in denial. You are still denying the fact that the relationship is unhealthy, yet family and friends can see that something is wrong with the relationship. That is another sign that you should look out for. Another sign, the person has constantly betrayed you, but you still go back to them. Maybe the person has cheated on you multiple times. They have done things that are not good for your relationship, but you still take them back. You might be trauma bonded to this person, because healthy people do not live like that. In a normal relationship, People do not cheat on you multiple times with no remorse, with no apologies, and you continue with the relationship like nothing happened. Another sign is that you have no idea where the relationship is headed, but you're still in the relationship. You only say that, me and this person have something strong. I don't know what it is, but, we have been in this relationship for so long, and there's something about us that is special. That is why we never leave each other. Yes, you don't know what is going on, because healthy and normal relationships are not a confusion. In a normal relationship, you know what you want in a person, and you know what you are attracted to in this person, and you know where you're headed as a couple, and you know where this relationship is leading you to. But in a trauma bonded relationship, you have no idea. You wake up and you're living for today, because you don't know whether this person tomorrow will wake up and break up with you. You don't know if they will wake up and abuse you tomorrow. So you have no idea where the relationship is going. Another thing, you're afraid of leaving because you do not know whether they'll hurt themselves. In abusive relationships, the abuser always threatens to, if you leave me, I don't know what will happen to me. I am going to do something to myself because I can't live without you. And you've bought this lie, and you can't leave them because you're afraid. They've sold the lie to you, and now you believe them. And in most cases, they can't do anything. They won't. The last sign that I would want to highlight is that the moment you leave them, after, figuring out that this is not good for me, the moment you leave them, you have an intense feeling of wanting to see them again and going back to the relationship. You feel like you're going to die the next minute because you're not with them. You agonize, you feel bad, and you find yourself now going back there. And the cycle repeats itself. You leave them, agonize, you feel bad, you want to see them so bad, and you find yourself going back to them again. This is the ultimate sign. Now you have an explanation of what is going on in that abusive relationship, or you understand why you never left that relationship earlier. And now you can start working on leaving the relationship. And if you know someone in such a situation, extend some grace to them. Do not be harsh on them, because no one wants to be in an abusive relationship. The least you can do is to walk with them. Walk the journey with them. Send videos like these, articles, something to open their eyes, and be supportive. There's so much to talk about when it comes to trauma bonding and abusive relationships, but I feel like that is enough for today. Something enough for someone to open their eyes. It is my delight to do such videos and to help someone who is stuck somewhere, because maybe they don't have this information and they are stuck. And I hope you have learned and picked something from this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Up until next time, keep it Marianne's space. Let's keep growing together. Bye.